Hello and welcome back to The Journey Home, how to get from where you are to who you are. In one of our previous modules, we talked about the gap, that space that exists between where I am today and who I really am and know myself to be. In my research, I've come to understand that regrets actually occupy a large area inside of the gap, and more personally, they take up a great amount of hard drive space in my psychic and energetic fields. So let's talk about regrets. We all have them. It's not whether or not we have a regret or not. All of us have them. So let's talk about those. What makes it so hard? And let's focus on the interpersonal regrets. What makes it so hard for us to take action and do something about those regrets? Well, like everything else, the regret is really the symptom. And if we just focus on the symptom, we're not going to get to the reason or the cause as to why moving through it is so challenging. And if we drill down a little bit into the symptom of regret, and the action item that's required will often be met with vulnerability, the impasse of vulnerability. For me to reach out to you and say, hey, that thing that showed up between the two of us, it's not important to me anymore. You are, and I really want to repair this abyss that's created between the two of us. Just that action requires extreme vulnerability. And if we go down beneath that and look at why is vulnerable or being vulnerable such an obstacle, well, most of us have a memory in our past of being vulnerable, and when we were, which is really our authentic posture in life, open and vulnerable, we were hurt, we were ridiculed, we were laughed at. The thing that we were vulnerable about was turned on us and used against us. So collectively as a society, we've moved away from being vulnerable or being open to being vulnerable, because most of us have a memory the minute we touch that feeling or that thought of being vulnerable of fear and pain. And that's what we remember. So when it comes time to addressing a regret that's live, we go through that stepping process unconsciously. Oh my God, it means I have to be vulnerable. Oh my God, when I'm vulnerable, I get hurt, or I get terrified, or I get blocked. And so the only way to actually free up the energy that we have tied in our live regrets is to journey back into the place that we're most afraid to go. What's the benefit? The regrets that are live and that we hold on to are also holding on to energy that we need to move to the next level, to move closer to who we are. And if we're not willing to go in there and mine that energy, we will never push through that obstacle in our lives that we know as regrets. So the exercise for today is simple. And what's cool about the exercise is our willingness to be vulnerable in a way that's different from our past actually helps us to remap the storyline about what vulnerability is. And here's the caveat. Here's the thing that's really important. If I'm going to make amends and address a regret, if I'm going to be vulnerable and open and leave myself in a position where I can be hurt, I can't do it based on an expectation or a requirement that the other person will meet me. That's the key. We have to detach from the expectation of what the other person or the external force or how it will react or meet our vulnerability, and understand that our true power in addressing many issues in life is our willingness to be seen authentically in who we are, to be vulnerable. It takes great courage. And so I would invite you today, at some point or in the next couple of days, to take a look at one of those items in your active regret list and take some action with it. You will gift yourself with a sense of more who you are and begin to harness back, to reclaim the energy that you have tied up in your regrets. We'll check in next time to see how you're doing. It's been great speaking to you again today. Until our paths cross again, thank you.